Meanwhile, has arrived in New York ahead of the UN General Assembly, which gets underway tomorrow. Masoud Pezeshkian will be making his first speech to the chamber. His foreign minister is also in New York and says Tehran is now willing to resume negotiations on Iran's nuclear program, but has ruled out direct talks with the United States. Well, for more on all of that, we're joined by Behnam Taleblu, Senior Fellow at the Foundation for the Defence of Democracy. It's good to have you with us, Behnam. Interesting timing, no? Iran's most precious proxy, Hezbollah, is facing its most sustained attack ever, and yet Tehran is here offering to hold talks. What do you read into that?
Well, pleasure to be with you again, Laura. Actually, that is somewhat auspicious timing, but this was pre-planned. Make no mistake, the Islamic Republic of Iran is quite keen to dangle the diplomatic carrot before the world, before the E3, even before America, not just at the UNGA, but for the next year and a half, because it's trying to run the clock on something that is the West's least costly and best diplomatic option against its nuclear program, which is the restoration of broad multilateral penalties called snapback that exists at the UN Security Council expire in October 2025. So this, in my view, was a strategy brought to you by the fact that personnel is policy. Zarif is back, Arakchi is back, Pezeshkian offers a change in style, not a change in substance. And all this allows the regime to buy time and tempt the West again with nuclear diplomacy, which they'll be quite keen to start doing on the sidelines of UNGA starting tomorrow.
Meanwhile, Hezbollah is under significant pressure, isn't it? To what extent, Behnam, is Tehran calling the shots here when it comes to the group's attacks on Israel? Is it holding Hezbollah back, or is Hezbollah waiting for a direct order from Tehran to strike Israel more forcefully? What do you think is happening in terms of that relationship right now?
I think also that it's quite clear what Iran's strategy has been with respect to the entire region, which is starting on October 7th, the Islamic Republic of Iran accomplished its political aims for the support for Hamas for the October 7th terrorist attack. Those political aims was to add space between the Arab street and the Arab state, add more space between Arab states and Israel and Arab states and America, and increase the transaction costs and delay a wave of normalization agreements that were taking its way across the region and get the target off of Iran's back and put that on Israel's back. That's precisely what has happened. Since these proxies began firing, particularly with Hezbollah starting October 8th, the Shia militia starting October 17th, and the Houthis starting on October 19th, the goal has been to threaten a wider regional war to be able to save Hamas as cost-free or as costless as possible. Now, that policy is indeed achieving significant costs. It's costly for Hezbollah, it's costly for the militias, it's costly for the Houthis, yet still they haven't found a way to back down. So I think depending on the exchange of fire and everything between Israel and Lebanon, all of that aside, the Islamic Republic, as we get close to the one-year anniversary, still thinks it has the winning hand here. And so they let the situations tactically evolve in the region. Day to day, they reassess. But the broader strength of this proxy strategy is that it's set it and forget it. They're highly responsive to external stimuli and to local conditions. And they believe local conditions are going their way.
All right. Ben Taleblu at the FDD. Thank you very much indeed.